Fire Eyes Media.
It's the second week of October, and I don't know about the rest of you, but I feel I have finally achieved my true form. It feels so good to be back in our little creepy corner of chaos, and even better that the best holiday of the year is steadily approaching.
Halloween! It is Halloween, right? Yeah. No, yeah, that's a tough one to figure out when it comes to Dear Amber. But yes, it feels almost as glorious as the somewhat cooler weather here in the great state of Texas. Wicked Wednesdays have always been a little bit of a change of pace for us in our content. So this year, we're keeping the true crime elements as much as possible, but still bringing the spooky.
Last week was a little bit of a refresher on a local Texas case that surprisingly has some roots into today's topic. We are taking you back to one of the creepiest, most classic urban legends out there. You know it. You've probably heard it whispered around a campfire or during a sleepover at some point in your life. It's the Hookman.
Oh, yes, the infamous bloody hook dangling from the car door story. Let's be honest here, it's basically folklore royalty at this point. What gets me about this one especially is that it isn't just a story parents made up to keep their friends from making out in parked cars. As we hinted last week, this one has roots in real crimes.
It was a warm summer night. A boy and a girl drove out to Lover's Lane, that lonely stretch at the edge of town where streetlights don't quite reach. The car engine clicked as it cooled. The night was thick with crickets and shadows. They laughed, whispered, kissed, doing what teenagers do when they think they're invincible. Then the radio crackled, interrupting the serene atmosphere.
This just in. Authorities warn that a man has escaped from the state asylum. He is armed, extremely dangerous, and missing his right hand. In its place, a steel hook.
The girl froze.
Did you hear that?
She asked, clutching the boy's arm. The boy chuckled.
Oh, that's nothing. They just put this on the radio to scare people. Don't worry.
But the girl wasn't convinced. She begged him to take her home. He sighed, rolled his eyes, and turned the ignition. That's when they heard it. A slow, dragging sound against the side of the car. The girl stiffened.
What was that?
The boy tried to laugh it off.
I don't know. A tree branch? Maybe the wind? Who cares?
But then it came again. Louder. Her hands shook.
Please take me home.
So he did. Tires squealing as the car shot forward, leaving Lover's Lane behind. When they reached her house, she flung the door open and bolted inside, breathless with relief. But the boy, curious, maybe a little smug, walked around to the passenger side. And there, swinging from the door handle, was a hook. A steel hook, freshly smeared with blood. Good God.
And goodbye.
Are you okay? You're sitting there like...
Yeah. I like it. It's fun. Okay. Oh no, not the bloody hook.
Right? Okay. But honestly, that image has haunted generations. Forget ghost stories. This one gets straight under your skin. I mean, I know we've talked about this stuff like this before, that like the truly eerie things that could totally happen in everyday life, they just hit a little bit different.
Honestly, though, how clumsy is this guy? Like, sir, if your one murder tool is a hook, maybe don't leave it behind like a lost umbrella.
Exactly. It's like a slasher version of, have you seen my left shoe? He's probably wandering around like, oh man, not again.
My murder plot is foiled. But, like, also, can we talk about the boyfriend? His girlfriend is like, hey, maybe let's not be brutally murdered tonight. And he's like, relax, babe, you're overreacting. Classic horror trope. The girl knows what's up, the guy ignores it. And then bam, hook as car accessory.
So here's the thing, though. Urban legends like this usually serve a purpose. I mean, this one is basically parental propaganda with the blaring message of don't sneak off to Lover's Lane, don't fool around, or you'll end up on the evening news as Hookman's latest victims.
It's the horror version of just say no. Forget birth control, just dangle the threat of a hook-handed lunatic outside the car window and poof, teenagers are celibate.
Exactly. It's like abstinence-only education, but with blood. We've hinted at this, but the creepiest part of this particular tale is that the legend grew out of real events. If you listened to our replay episode last week, you're all too familiar with the Texarkana Moonlight Murders.
Yep, the dude that attacked couples in cars back in the 1940s and caused havoc across Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas.
Between February and May of 1946, he attacked 8 people, killing 5. His first attacks were on young couples parked on secluded roads, basically Lover's Lane. He wore a white sack over his head with holes cut for eyes.
Basically, imagine Jason Voorhees before he got his hockey mask, creeping up on parked teenagers.
Mm-hmm. The whole town went into lockdown. Curfews, armed patrols, people terrified to even go outside after dark. For months, Lover's Lanes were deserted.
So parents already had a boogeyman to point to. And once the killing stopped, the legend of the Hookman gave the fear a permanent face.
Folklorists have studied this one for years. I mean, it first started circulating in the 1950s, right when teen car culture was exploding. Cars gave kids freedom. Drive-ins, back seats, late-night parking. Oh boy, did the parents hate it.
So along comes the perfect story. Sure, honey, go ahead and park with your boyfriend. Just know there's a homicidal amputee with a rusty hook waiting in the bushes.
Exactly. It scared kids into coming home before curfew and kept them from, well, you know.
Yeah, nothing kills the mood faster than picturing a blood-soaked hook scratching at the window.
Over the years, the Hookman legend has changed. Sometimes the couple never leaves the car and the girl ends up dead. Sometimes the guy gets out to investigate and never comes back. Sometimes they only find blood smeared on the door.
And sometimes the hook is left dangling as a calling card, which again, bad career move for a killer.
Right? I mean, he's basically advertising, hi, yes, I was here murdering. Please return my hook to asylum number 5. Thanks. Bye.
But that's what makes it stick. It's short, it's shocking, and it leaves you with one really gross image you can't get out of your head.
This story has lasted over 70 years. It hits every fear button. Being isolated, being stalked, ignoring warnings, and then finding undeniable proof that you were inches away from death.
Plus, it's easy to retell around a campfire, on a dark road, or to your kids when they're about to sneak out. You only need the words bloody hook to get the point across.
And while no hook-handed asylum escapee has ever been proven real, the Phantom Killer was. the panic was, and the fear was.
And he was never caught, which is something that makes this urban legend way too real for comfort.
So, next time you're parked on a dark road at night and you hear something scratching against your car door, maybe don't look.
Or do. Just make sure you've got good car insurance.
Well, that's the Hookman. Part folklore, part real crime, and still one of the most cautionary tales out there.
Moral of the story? Don't make out in cars with guys who don't listen to you.
Moral of that story? Always listen to women. It might just save your life.
Always. Yeah, this reminds me so much of I Know What You Did Last Summer, which I still haven't seen the new one.
I haven't either. Nope.
I'm very curious to know like how similar it is to the original. And Urban Legend, which you haven't seen.
I have not seen Urban Legend. I know that's kind of like a what? Amber, are you okay? Who hurt you kind of thing? I don't know. It's one of those movies that like fell through the cracks for me that I never saw.
I mean, I can't say much because there are so many movies that are like must-see movies that I've never seen either.
Yep.
And I've seen Urban Legend, but it's been so long that I honestly could not tell you anything.
Oh, yeah. No.
So maybe we'll have to watch it together sometime.
I'm down. I'm always down for that kind of shit.
Yeah, we'll have to do that for sure. This is fun.
It was fun. And, the whole, like, the retelling of the story at the very beginning, like, it has been told so many different ways. Like, I guarantee you there's people that's going to listen and be like, nah, that's not what I heard. But, fair. Like, it's basis of it. That's just to get the point across. Like, hey, if you have heard a different version of this and want to share it with us, please do. I'd love to hear other retellings of it.
Yeah, absolutely. It would be interesting to know if it's kind of a regional thing. So,
yeah.
like, depending on where you're from in the States, like you heard a different version of this story. But it's just funny. It's funny to me, the whole like the whole thing behind it was you don't want your kids going off and parking.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. Kids are going to do what they're going to do, whether it's in a car or not.
Yep.
So you might be keeping them from like parking in the middle of nowhere in their car. Doesn't mean they're not going to find somewhere else to go.
Yeah, basically. I mean, there you remove one temptation, they're going to find five other ways to do something else.
Exactly.
Not that we're sitting here condoning, hey, let your kids do whatever the fuck they want. No. By no stretch of the imagination, but just, I was once a teenager and I know I also did things.
Also, same. We were friends during that time period. We very much know what the other person was getting into. And I don't think a fake hook on a scary man would have stopped us.
I would have been like, man, I want that hook for my wall.
You totally would.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds like a challenge.
Challenge accepted.
Well, thank you, listeners, for joining us on our first dive into urban legends for this year's Wicked Wednesday. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Weird True Crime. We'll supply you with memes filled with sarcasm and all things spooky related this month.
It really does feel so good to be back. And if you enjoy what you heard today, please be sure to leave us a 5-star rating and review wherever we're invading your ear holes from. Yeah. It really does help us a lot, and it makes us happy. So win-win.
Yeah, and you guys want us to be happy, right? Right? Okay. Join us for next week's Wicked Wednesday, where we're going to cover another urban legend. Maybe it'll be one you're familiar with, or maybe it'll be one you've never heard before. Until next time, stay safe.
And make good choices. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, you fucking swear to Jeebus!